What is fear, and why does it play such a maybe devastating role in our experience? Why does it gum us up so much? Why is it so hard to move past, or maybe what is it? It's definitely a thing that freezes us up. Like Frank Herbert said, fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. The idea that fear completely freezes you and loses you to the reality that you're in, the moment that you're in. It brings total obliteration. There's nothing that can be done. You are paralyzed in fear. And fear is an event of the nervous system, the way your autonomic nervous system responds to events around you. If you were to be startled, to be scared, boo, fear, adrenaline. You get kicked into a state of sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, freeze, maybe fawn responses. So fear is maybe a protection mechanism. Fear is something that our bodies use as a chemical messengers, chemical reception, neural reception. Here's some new molecules. Here's some adrenaline. Here's some cortisol. Prepare your body. This is fear. This is the feeling of fear. So fear is a state of neural reception. Fear is a feeling, a concept of fear. Oh, what is this? Oh, I'm afraid. So all of these states of neural reception based on these concepts of something will happen, so I must prepare, are all based on what? Are you truly in danger? Or are you fearing something out into the future that doesn't exist? Have you felt a thing right here in this moment that scared you and made you think, oh, it must be this, it must be this, it must be this, it must be this, and then you worked yourself way out into anxiety to induce a state of fear? So yeah, we have active fears that are, right in front of our face, things that we have to be aware of to protect our bodies, our minds, our personage, who we are. But the majority of our fear, that mind-killing fear, is the anxiety of a future that's not yet here. It does not exist. And the worst part is, and maybe the irony of fear is, as we hold those feelings of fear, something may happen, oh no. And we work that up in our body, the feeling of fear, of anxiety, that pings our brain to say, hey, we're in danger. So it's like the subconscious memory of something triggers a feeling in the body, an actual sensation in the meat suit, actual neural reception. And then that egoic mind says, why do I feel this way? I must be in danger. And it looks for danger and it goes out into anxiety, which then causes more fear, the feelings. And then by the time you realize it, you're like, oh, I'm definitely scared. I am overwhelmed with fear. I am in a panic attack. I am in severe duress in my anxiety. And it all comes from not minding your thoughts in the moment and allowing them to move out into spaces that don't exist. Now, those spaces may have been conditioned. You may have had a past experience that caused you to think that everything within this context, or caused you to feel that everything within this particular context is going to cause harm. So that past experience programs your current reality. So to live without fear and to undo that is to address those spaces, those things that you're afraid of, and not make up a story of this is why I am afraid out into the future, but why have I been afraid for my entire life? Why have I always felt this way? What is that meta thing within me that's causing me to live in fear in this moment? And when we don't point the finger outwards and say, this is the reason that I am afraid, this is the reason that I am held back, this is the reason why I can't be the person that I desire to be, when we constantly push out into the future of fear like that, we hold ourselves in a moment of fear. But if we turn it back inside and we say, why would I be feeling this way? Why would I be scared right now? In this perfect moment of humanity, as I am going about my life, learning the things that I am learning, doing everything right, everything with the best intent. Absolute perfection. Why would I be afraid? And that moves us into, ideas of faith or manifestation or, the peace that passes understanding. To be in the center of God's will, maybe, and to be without fear, knowing that you are okay. When you move into a state of belief like that, a state of faith, a state of trust, as we would define it in our human experience, we are actually changing our reality. We are actually asking the subatomic particles to configure in a different way within each atom to create a different electron field to attract the particular molecules to create your reality, your physical reality within that moment. So your expectation of the way things are going to be is how they are. Because as long as you're in the expectation of fear in the moment, you are in fear. And all of your future will be fear. But if you move into a space of center and trust, every single thing within the moment will be read through that lens and not in fear, and will be read as a lesson and as a movement in the progression of the journey of life. If you are in need of help working through your fears and or past conditioning, that is exactly what emotional alchemy is. I would love to host a session with you, helping you clear through past traumas and negative belief systems so you can live in a state of freedom. Hit me up on the website.